Welcome back to Strings and Pucks. This is Jeremy Lohr, the stuttering guitarist. It's time for another Red Wings report. So, just to put one final thought on it, Detroit obviously missed the mark in what they were really needing to add in free agency, and that was a top four defenseman and a top six forward. The addition of John Gibson in net is right now the most significant, and pending any further moves, Detroit's going into the season with a team that is maybe marginally better than the roster last year. The difference being a full season of McClellan at the helm and John Gibson in net. That being said, for this team to get to the next level, it's going to be based on internal improvements. Edvinsson has to take another step forward. Kasper has to take another step forward. In terms of Kasper, to me, that means 25 goals or more, and that line really creating a lot more even strength offense. We relied too much on the power play last season, and they have to get more even strength scoring up and down the lineup. So the other players that I think would have a chance to make an impact are the ones that could come up from Grand Rapids. And for me, that's going to be Lombardi, Danielson, Brandzik Nygaard, Tuomisto, and Sandin Pellikka. On the forwards, the team seems very high on Danielson. I think he'll have every chance to make the squad. If he doesn't make the squad out of camp, I expect him to be high on the call-up list. Personally, I like Lombardi's game better. I think he's much more like Kasper, but the team seems to be really deep on Danielson, and I'm going to guess that that's to do with his 200-foot game. He carries the puck well. He can enter the zone with the puck between his feet, lift his stick, get between a couple defenders. Similar to what we used to see Datsyuk do, but there is no Datsyuk except for the original. But Danielson can make good zone entries. He's a puck hound defensively. So for that 200-foot game, they really seem to like Danielson. I like Lombardi as a scorer quite a bit better. But regardless, they're very high on Brandzik Nygaard as well. Started to show where he's going to be most effective, and that's finding that quiet area around the net, gets the puck off his stick in a second, doesn't even clean it off. That's how he scored his goals in the postseason in Grand Rapids. He scored goals like that in the IIHF as well. He also showed that he can fight for space, he can be physical, he can work the corners, work the board. Nygaard will have quite a bit of opportunity. Whether or not they make it out of camp, the call-up list is going to be on the regular. I really think there's going to be a lot of injuries because of the schedule this year. It's just so compacted. So we'll see. Even if they don't make it out of camp, they've got to do what Kasper did last year, make that call-up count and make it impossible for them to send you back. On the blue line, Tuomisto. If you don't keep him in Detroit, you could lose him to waivers. And that big right shot, super affordable contract, he would be a high risk for pickup on waivers. So we've seen them have to do this before, where he may be in Detroit just because they don't want to lose him. But as of now, the write-ups I'm seeing are saying that he's slated for Grand Rapids. So it doesn't seem there's a lot of confidence that he's made the next step. I would argue that you should be able to put him right in Hall's spot at this point. But the excitement on the blue line is generated around Sandin Pellikka. He's working in the weight room. They need him to put on weight. They need him to get stronger. But his offensive abilities are undeniable. He's built a resume, but it needs to translate to North American ice. So again, with those two, for Tuomisto, they may just have to keep him so they don't lose him. Sandin Pellikka, I expect to see him on a call-up. and I would love to see him take a spot. But in my mind, at this point, if Detroit does not get something surprising like what Casper provided last year, this is not a team that can make the postseason in the Atlantic. It's just too tough. Florida managed to keep the team together. Montreal managed to build. Ottawa's a very, very good team. Toronto is a regular season powerhouse. Even losing Mitch Marner, I can't see a scenario where they're not a lock for one of the 3 spots. Tampa Bay, very, very similar. Boston is in the rebuild, and they could have a rough year, but remember, 5 spots went to the Atlantic last year, so the Metro, if there's improvement there and they grab one of those spots, you're going to be battling Montreal and Ottawa for a spot. And right now, I just don't see the team as poised to be able to beat those 2 teams out. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. I'll be posting more this coming week. Obviously, it's a slowdown in the hockey season, but as news develops, I'll be putting it up. Thanks again. I'll talk to you soon. If you want to support the channel for now, the easiest way is to head over to iTunes. Look up my name, Jeremy Laura. You'll see I've got some singles and some albums for sale there. If you don't use Apple Music or iTunes, you can head to stutteringguitarist.com. I'll have the link in the description. Digital downloads available there, 99 cents. It helps the channel an incredible amount. It helps me be able to continue to work on this while we grow it.